If you're short on time but still want strong toned arms, this workout is perfect for you. Today I'm going to show you how to get the most out of a short workout, and we're also going to be using lighter weights, which means it's easier on the joints and great for home training. Plus, there's a killer exercise near the end, something I've created, and I've saved my absolutely favorite exercise for last, so make sure you stick around for the full video. So the first exercise I'm going to show you today is a cable crossover. Now don't worry, all the exercises that follow this one can be done with dumbbells, but I had to show you the cable crossover today because it's one of my favorite exercises for triceps. To do the cable crossover, you grab the cables without any attachment and bend over slightly, which helps you feel more stable. Then you flare your elbows out a bit, make sure your shoulders stay back and tucked down. And then it also helps to think about lifting your chest a bit. And then what you do is you just start doing crossovers with the cable, and you're trying to target your triceps. If you have any elbow problems, this can be a fantastic exercise because you can play with the path of the cable until you find a comfortable spot or path where you don't have any pain. I call this the pain-free path. Now, I know many of you don't have access to a dual cable like mine. For example, if you train at home, you might only have a single cable, or if you train at a gym that's busy, you might not be able to use both cables. You might only be able to access one side of the cable. So I wanted to show you a one-arm version of this exercise. On days when I have more time, I actually prefer the single arm version because I can really focus on each side, and I like to be able to use my free hand to brace myself on the cable machine, which makes the whole exercise feel much better. But this workout is all about maximizing your time in the gym. So if you're in a rush, do the dual cable crossover. Now, moving on, what I wanted to do is show you a bicep superset. When you superset, which means doing two exercises back to back without a rest and only resting after you've done both, you save so much time. So the next exercise or exercises I'm going to show you is a deadly bicep combo that involves doing two exercises back to backs, and this is absolutely going to smash your biceps because there's not much rest time. To do the combo, you pick up a medium heavy pair of dumbbells. You don't want to go really heavy because we want absolutely every rep to be good quality. And remember, we're not going to be taking a lot of rests, so you don't need to go super heavy. And the first exercise we're going to do is drag curls. Now, drag curls are one of the exercises that I get asked about the most when I put them in my programs because they can be really hard to figure out. The key is to not overthink them too much. The idea is that because your elbows are tucked back behind your body, you're working the long head of your bicep more than other variations of curls where the elbow is further forward. And if you want to have nice looking biceps or see that little bicep peak if you flex your muscles, then you have to train both the long and the short head of the biceps, which is why we have stuff like drag curls in the programs. And you'll often see drag curls done with barbells, but for women, the dumbbells can be much more comfortable, particularly if you have a bigger chest that gets in the way. And just like the cable crossovers, I like to hinge over a bit. It just feels more natural when I do them. The key with drag curls is to make sure you move really slow and focus on squeezing your bicep at the top and then trying to keep it engaged as you lower. And when you are at that top position, don't let your shoulders roll forward. This is really all about the bicep, and your shoulders shouldn't be getting involved. Now, drag curls might not feel as hard as some of the other curls that you've done, but in this combo, we're immediately going to do no money curls after the drag curls, and trust me, you're going to feel the burn. So with no rest at all after doing drag curls, you immediately start doing no money curls. No money curls start out like a hammer curl where your thumbs are up, but then you rotate your arms out, turning your palms up at the top as if to say you have no money. Again, you want to move really slow and smooth on these. Remember to engage your biceps as you lift and as you rotate around and squeeze, but also as you lower. And when I did this workout, I did 12 of each of the exercises and then had a very strict rest time of only 45 seconds. And then I did it 2 more times. So 2 more times through the combo, sticking to that very strict rest time. The burn you'll feel when you do this will be phenomenal. So this is an example of how you can use lighter weights and still have a really awesome workout. And if you're short on time, the supersets are perfect. Now moving on to something I created that absolutely smokes your arms. I like to do this near the end of my workout to really finish off my arms, make sure I've had a good workout. What we're going to be doing is tricep extensions, which is a really common exercise, and you can do them either on a cable with a rope handle, or you could do the exact same exercise with a dumbbell if you don't have cables. The key to what we're doing today is to stick very strictly to a short rest time. So what we're going to be doing is 15 extensions and a very strict 15-second rest for 5 rounds. Now, this is going to be extremely hard. As the rounds increase, you're going to get more and more of a burn in the back of your arms, and the tension is going to build up like crazy. You're probably going to feel a bit like crying. It's going to be so hard. And that's a good thing. This is the exercise that you want to be doing if you want to target the back of your arms, those turkey wings, or where you get cellulite on your arms. A lot of ladies want to target this area, and this is the type of thing you want to be doing. Because we're really sticking to those strict rest times and we're doing so many reps, 15 reps each round, you're not going to need heavy weights, which is really cool because I find that sometimes tricep extensions can be a little bit hard on the elbows, but because you're using lighter weights, these should feel okay for most ladies. Now, finally, as I said, I was going to leave my favorite exercise for last, and what I'm going to show you now is a reverse grip chest press. Normally on chest press, most ladies can lift quite heavy, as can I, but because in this workout you've completely annihilated your arms up to this point, you aren't going to need to lift as heavy on these, which is really great for your joints. And in fact, that's why I've done it this way, because I have been getting elbow pain a little bit when I chest press. And so by tiring out my arms before going into the chest press, I don't have to lift as heavy on the chest press. Now, the reason we're doing these on the floor is that in general, it's a little bit safer. It feels more stable than when you're laying on a bench. And it's also a little bit easier to get the weights into position when you're doing it from the floor. Now, what I wanted to do is show you on the screen here. You can see that I've set the dumbbells standing up quite wide. That's how you want to pick them up, and just pay attention to the angle I'm grabbing them. I'll put up an example here of the angle at which you don't want to pick up and put them down, because that's not good for your shoulders. So don't do it this way. Put them out nice and wide and sort of roll them up. It just feels a little bit easier. And then what you do is kind of lift up and tuck your arms in before initiating the press. The reason we've done that is we're tucking your arms in to target your triceps more. When you keep your arms out wide, it targets your chest more. But because this is an arm workout, we're trying to target your triceps. You're also going to rotate your hands around, which can feel really weird if you haven't done this before, but this is a reverse press, so you rotate your hands around, and that just means you're also going to probably feel it in your biceps a little bit. Another thing that I'm doing today, which makes this exercise fun and a bit different, is that I'm resting my upper arm on the ground each rep for a second before I press again. Now, that does break the tension, which is different than everything we always talk about. We always talk about keeping the tension on the muscles, but it's a really interesting feeling to press from a dead stop, and it can be really challenging. So every now and then I just like to change it up and do presses like this. So give it a try for something different. When I did this workout, I threw in a couple of other exercises that I haven't shown you today, but in general, this is a really fantastic arm workout that's not going to take you a lot of time. So I hope you've enjoyed the video today. Remember, if you want some help with your training, to check out my programs over on femalefitnesssystems.com. I actually have express versions of every single program. When you go to my website, you're not actually going to see that option, but when you do sign up for a program, before you get your program all all set up. In the consultation form that I send you, you can choose whether you want express workouts or regular length. So if you like those shorter workouts, I've got you covered. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and leave a comment because that really helps my channel here on YouTube, and I appreciate it so much. Don't forget to subscribe so you catch future videos from me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon.